college basketball world. We'll talk how this affects Texas and a whole lot more. Coming up next on College Crossfire.
I guess we'll get into it, guys. Always enthusiastic, unbelievable, hard-nosed.
Roll up the sleeves for this one.
This Dallas team was very overrated from the start, like they always are every year.
The talent there, Kevin Mack, Eric Davis, and Cronin Roach, are maybe three of the most talented guys in the team.
That's an ugly shirt.
Always a pleasure having you on, guys.
Time to freak out.
Good evening and welcome into College Crossfire. I'm your host, Mark Skol Jr. Glad to have you with us on your Wednesday night. Let's go ahead and meet tonight's panel. To my left, Turner Barnes, undefeated on College Crossfire. How's it feel to be back on?
It feels great. Ready to make a defense of my title.
Wow, undefeated, like I said. Steve Helwick, man in the middle. Been a while. Have you been on this semester yet?
I have not.
No, so first time for Steve Helwick this semester. Good to have you on. And then last but not least, Justin Honore. First time this school year. It's been a long time, man. How's it feel?
It feels good to be back, you know?
Good to be back. Excited.
Finally, no more baseball questions. So
no more baseball
we're
questions.
Good. We're good.
Maybe in a couple weeks, but if you win, maybe we'll have to answer some next week. All right, guys, let's get started. Big news in college sports over the weekend. Yahoo Sports released an exclusive report on several violations in college basketball in which players were being paid under the table. One of those players is Texas junior guard Eric Davis, who reportedly received $1,500. How should Davis's teammates react to his involvement in this report? Turner?
Well, you know, it's an unfortunate situation. At least 20 schools are affected by this. And so this not only goes for Texas, but all the schools involved. When you're on a team, it's not just a dude to your left or to your right. It's a brotherhood, you know. And so whenever you're brothers, you support each other no matter what. It's an unfortunate situation, like I said, but these guys are teammates, they're brothers, and no matter what happens, they got to support each other. That being said, they do that off the court. On the court, they need to focus and be ready for what the end goal is, and that's birthing the NCAA tournament.
And Kerwin Roach was saying after the game against on Saturday against Oklahoma State that they've overcome so much, and this thing is just a little blip. They've had a teammate with cancer too. So, Steve,
you always have to have your teammates back, no matter what. In this situation, they do need to go on. They need to set the distractions aside, go on the court, and focus. But at the same time, you have to have Davis's back. You cannot blame the kid for if he did accept the money for doing that, because almost all athletes in a situation like that are accepting it. You see Arizona, all these guys taking this money, but on the court, you need to support Eric Davis, and the best way to do it is with a tournament berth, I think. Because who knows when he could return? Who knows when findings of the investigation could be released, and then he could be cleared to play. So you have to make that tournament. If you're Jacob Young, who is his primary replacement right now, you have to keep stepping up, scoring 12, 14 points in his place, and there Texas can make a tournament berth if all the players step up for Davis.
Jacob Young had a career-high points on 14 points against Kansas on Monday. Big game for him. Definitely filling in Eric Davis's shoes. Justin?
Texas players, they should be angry, not at Eric Davis, but at the NCAA. And they kind of already told us that in the press conference at the Oklahoma State game, because you have both Kerwin Roach and Dylan Osikowski saying that they should be paid, and I would have to agree with them. I mean, $1,500, that's nothing. I mean, that's pocket change. I mean, between what they should be earning, and matter of fact, the NCAA is a sham anyways, so that's why they should be angry.
You know what? They should be paying us to be on College Crossfire tonight, too.
Amen.
Yeah.
I don't think TSTV has the budget.
Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, I'm going to go with Turner here. Every great points all across the board, but it's a brotherhood, man. You got to always have each other's back. I know Steve said it too, but it's a brotherhood, and I like the way that Turner described it. So Turner's getting the points. All right, moving on. The Texas women's basketball team wrapped up its regular season last night, defeating Oklahoma 79-66, but the postseason starts this weekend with the Big 12 tournament, and Texas will be the 2 seed behind Baylor. How do you guys think Texas will fare in the Big 12 tournament? Steve?
Let's keep this simple. There's a Big 12 hierarchy. Baylor is up here, there's Texas in the middle, and then there's the rest of the Big 12. It's not even close. Texas is a clear-cut second-place team in the Big 12. You look at all their Big 12, they've won every single conference game by double-digit points since January 3rd. They only Oklahoma State was the only conference game that they won by single digits. They had a loss at TCU on January 10th, but they've seemed to fix anything since, and they've been on a roll, except when Baylor plays. When Baylor came to town, they lost still by single-digit points in a game where the score was actually closer than the result should have indicated. But Baylor is a clear favorite of the Big 12. And Texas even has their slip-up sometimes in the tournament. Last year they lost in the second round. But this year I think they go to the final and lose to the Bears, who clearly have their number every single year.
So you don't think the third time is the charm if Texas plays Baylor?
No, not at all. Women's basketball.
We're getting some boos here from the fans.
Women's basketball seems to have the most predictable winners of all sports. I mean, you see with
Wait,
UConn
so you had
every year.
UConn. Wait, so you had Mississippi State winning it all last year?
South Carolina won it all last year.
South Carolina?
Yes, they beat
Okay,
Mississippi.
South Carolina State. My fault. All right, Justin, what about you?
I'm gonna go with the upset. They're gonna win the Big 12 tournament. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you why. Know who Christy Wallace is? Christy Wallace is Baylor's star point guard, and guess what happened to her last game? She went down with a knee injury. Ooh, yeah. Christy Wallace, she leads that team. She seems to give Texas trouble all the time. But this, I highly doubt she's going to play the Big 12 tournament. Knee injury, those are very scary. They're going to save her for the real tournament. And, you know, Britt McCarty, she's going to go out there and dominate. Ariel Atkins, Higgs.
The seniors are coming out on top. That's what Justin's saying in the
Yes.
Big 12 tournament. Okay, Turner?
You know, I think they can do really good, and if they don't make it to the finals, then it's a disappointment. That being said, Texas has beaten Baylor one time since 2011. On a neutral court, it may be closer, but I don't think it happens.
You can't mention injuries and then not talk about Audrey and Karan-Gaudreau for Texas. Both sides have the star player out.
But she's not like as big of a difference maker as like Brooke
Definitely on the low
McCarty.
block.
Audrey is
And
like fourth.
They still get
on the
Jatari
team.
White too, and Jatari White's been pretty good. So I'm going with Justin here. I like the optimism. Texas winning the Big 12 tournament. You heard it here first. All right, guys. We're normally not talking Texas volleyball in the spring, but it was announced stud Longhorn freshman Lexi Sun has transferred from the program. Sun said this in a statement: "I want to thank all of the people that have impacted me throughout my time at the University of Texas. I know the Longhorn volleyball program will continue to be successful, and I wish them nothing but the best." How big of a loss is this for Texas, Justin?
It's a huge loss. Granted, that she didn't play very well in the tournament, but you can't replace talent. She was the #1 recruit out of high school, and she was also an all Big 12 player. You're already losing 2 All-Americans, as well as your school's all-time leader in Diggs, and Kat McCoy. So, I mean, granted, like, maybe she didn't play as well in the tournament as she should have, but then again, she's only a freshman, and she can only get better from there.
Yeah, big loss, says Justin. Turner?
Yeah, I got to agree with him. This is a huge loss. He already cited losing 3 seniors. But Lexi Sun is an incredible talent. She was one of the best players on the team as a freshman, and you're expecting to have her for 3 more years, and then she's gone like the blink of an eye, and that's huge. You expected to lose Kat McCoy and Wanabu and Obagu, but you did not expect to lose Lexi Sun, and it just happened. And you know, you got to believe that she's doing what she thinks is best for her career, but it still sucks for Texas.
And she was thought of to be one of the Texas greats, who could be one of the Texas greats. Steve?
When the sun sets, you still know a new day is coming up. And that's exactly what is happening for Texas volleyball. Because they have Jarrett Elliott. Generations and generations, it seems Elliott takes this program to new heights, to the Final Four every year. Last year, they didn't do it when they had Sun. I know they're losing some talented senior class, but you can always count on Jarrett Elliott to win the Big 12 and to go far in the NCAA tournament. He's going to reload. He's going to find new players in his system to get this with. He's going to also use some of his current talent, like Morgan Johnson, going forward. I think Lexi Sun is a phenomenal player, but I don't think her absence will impact the Longhorns as greatly as it sounds, even though she was the top recruit coming out of that. Because this is Texas volleyball after all. It's just like Alabama football. Every single year, they lose star players and they keep coming back.
Steve Helwick, I could not agree with you more. You're getting the point. I think Lexi Sun, she was great. Obviously one of the better players in Texas, but Texas is always good every single year, and he just recycles that talent year after year. Jarrett Elliott knows what he's doing. As long as he's there, Texas will be good. All right, Steve's getting the point. Awesome stuff, guys. After the break, our panelists We'll discuss their favorite moment from the Olympics and how one college basketball team keeps adding to its impressive streak. Coming up next.
Is it Arizona?
Good job. Good job.
It's a program in
Good
Arizona.
debate, folks.
Welcome back in the College Crossfire, your home for live sports debate on the 40 acres. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. We're all nodded at one. Good debate here on College Crossfire. All right, guys, let's get after it. The Yahoo Report on college basketball athletes being paid shocked the nation with its details. Schools like Duke, North Carolina, Michigan State, and Alabama were in the report. And apparently, the FBI had an Arizona head coach, Sean Miller, on tape discussing paying star center DeAndre Ayton $100,000. But what do you guys think? Should college athletes be paid? Turner?
I think that college athletes should absolutely be paid. These guys don't have time to get a job. They are at full-time school. They're full-time athletes. They don't have time to get a job. UT made $180 million in 2016. That's a lot of dough. And for the players to not get a cut, that's just like not even right. I'm not even gonna say they should. I also have a plan.
Ooh.
You take that $180 million, you take a portion of it, and you put it aside to pay the players, and then everybody on the team makes the same amount of money. I don't care how good you are. That's the fair way to do it. And not only, I'm sorry, they're distracting me a little bit.
Yeah, you're good.
Each sport, no sport can get more than 20% of the total money. So you can't pay football 98% of that money and just give it all to
I like
football.
that.
So you got to split it up within sports, and every athlete gets paid the same amount.
It'd be interesting to see if they gave the starters more money just to provide incentive within the program. I think that'd be kind of interesting too, Steve.
The hard part about your question, it's not really exactly a yes or no question. There's a lot more depth into it. And I think first, yes, I do think that college athletes should be paid. But first, we need to lift some of the regulations on there. These student athletes are treated worse than normal college students in terms of what they're earning. They can't even pick up $1 thrown at them on the ground at a college basketball game. First, they need to lift regulations. They need to allow players to profit off their own image. I can go to the bookstore right now, and they could have me model a T-shirt and pay me for it. Mo Bamba can't have that. You can't even make a YouTube video like the UCF kicker Donald De La Haye and make profit off that. This is just absolutely ridiculous because these are student athletes. I know they earn scholarships already, but they're producing so much revenue for the NCAA. March Madness made $900 million last year. But paying athletes is another topic because it's going to be so difficult because Shaka Smart mentioned on Saturday there's things like Title IX. There's only 2 sports that actually produce lots of revenue, college football and men's college basketball. Yeah. And he was talking about paying out of Texas's $180 million. Not all colleges have the luxury of the $180 million, so it's much more complicated than that. We have to have still a fair ground where you can't have recruits just recruit based on money, but you still have to allow athletes to profit off their own image and take away some of the regulations.
Yeah, and speaking with football too, you see Malik Jefferson jerseys at the co-op all the time, and it's like, then he's not getting anything for it. Justin?
Yes, college players should absolutely get paid. The NCAA makes way too much money for them not to get paid. I mean, think about it. Just basketball and football alone makes tons of money. And the NCAA, they should be scared. They should be scared of one man. And that man is LeVar Ball, because he's coming. The JBA, it's going to end college basketball for all we know. You know, the top-ranked recruit's going to say, should I go to Duke? Or can I go get paid $50,000 by LeVar Ball and then go to the NBA and get a big contract?
Well, to be honest, in my personal opinion, I think they're already getting paid. It's just not public, but I think we all are in agreement that they should be paid. But Steve made the point where they're not getting paid for just their jerseys being sold or for being in advertisements. They need to get paid for that. They're putting in hard work, taking those pictures, doing all this kind of stuff, promoting their brand. They need to get paid for that. So Steve, you're getting the point. Great points all around though. So all right, guys, sticking with college hoops, one of the nation's best got even better. Kansas clinched its 14th straight Big 12 title on Saturday against Texas Tech, and it's the longest active conference winning streak in college basketball. How big of a deal is this that the Jayhawks have won their 14th straight big title, and does it mean anything without postseason success, Steve?
Without postseason success, I see a 2008 championship banner hanging in the rafters. Any championship is success during a run, but the 14 straight is so impressive, especially in an era where parity is much higher than it was in the 70s with the UCLA Bruins. I mean, there's teams that challenge Kansas every year, the West Virginias, Texas Tech this year at least, Oklahoma, sometimes when they have Heald or Griffin, but none of them have actually passed Kansas to be a sole #1 Big 12 team. And that is so impressive. And this Jayhawks team under Bill Self, they've been a 1 or 2 seed every year since 2009. And that is just another remarkable feat. That means that they're a likely pick to win March Madness almost every year. They just struggle. Last 2 years, they barely lost in the Elite Eight games to Villanova and Oregon. And who knows, they're going to probably get over that hump soon. I put them in my bracket in the Final Four every year. I struggle with that. But it's just an impressive run that Kansas has, and they're going to be back in that Final Four any day now.
Are they going for 15 next year? Are they going to get 15?
Yes, because who else is going to have
I agree. Justin?
Yes, it's very impressive. To have 14 years of #1 success, and it isn't just the same players. Bill Self did it different ways. He did it with the one and dones with Andrew Wiggins, Joel Embiid. He did it with old men like Frank Mason, Perry Ellis.
Oh, how long was Perry Ellis in school for?
For like thousands of years. Who knows? But every year, is it going to be a year for Kansas to fall off? No, because they got Bill Self, and that's all you need. They got the fog. That's all you need. And even more impressive is their home record. Like, they lost 3 or 4 home games this year, and they're like, oh my word, that's like crazy. And let alone how many home games has Texas lost this year?
Countless, man.
Yeah.
It's been a lot.
But yeah, I think that's success of the home record, the winning the Big 12 every year, and then who cares about postseason success? They got championships.
What?
Yeah.
What?
All right, Turner?
Yeah, I think it's very impressive. It's obviously more impressive than 13 straight. In addressing the NCAA tournament success, lack of success, or whatever, they have a championship, like you said. They also lost a championship. They've been to 8 Sweet 16s and 6 Elite 8s, something like that. That's a lot of success. I know Texas would kill to have that kind of success. Now, is it as much success as the 7 straight championships that the UCLA Bruins had in their streak? No. But success is success. They have a championship, a loss of a championship, and it's not going to stop this year either. It's going to keep going.
And it's so hard to win the national championship, too. It's not like it's an easy thing. I'm going with Justin here just because it's the same talent year after, it's different talent year after year. So Justin, you're getting it. All right, guys, the Winter Olympics are over. It went by way too fast. Norway led the medal count with 39, while the United States had the 4th most with 23. A lot of memorable moments throughout the Olympics, but what was your favorite moment from the games? I know Justin was watching the ice skating a lot.
Nah, I'm gonna say I didn't watch anything in the Winter Olympics. But
you didn't watch any of the Winter Olympics?
No, not a single second. Not at all. But what I did see was on Twitter. That boy Adam Ripton, the figure skate. Rapon, yeah. Man, that man got some fire tweets. Anytime you can be that arrogant, you got my heart for life. Especially his Valentine's Day tweet. He said, with all the stuff going on with me in the media, I don't want you to forget that how beautiful I am. I'm like, whoa, this man coming with the heat. So that's my all-time favorite moment.
Just the Twitter,
arrogance.
just the Twitter presence.
Bro, you know how arrogant you have to be to send that tweet? That's just beautiful. It's pristine.
Impressed with the Twitter, Turner?
Let me paint a picture for you. I'm in my dorm room in my pajamas. It's late night. And I'm sitting up on my computer watching the U.S. women's hockey team take down the big bad beast that is Canada. Jocelyn Lamoureux in the shootout, 6th round, pulling out her best TJ Oshie impersonation. And then Rooney, the 20-year-old goaltender, making the save, the golden save that gets USA Hockey over the hump. They lost to Canada in three gold medal games since 1998 when they won it last. I was pumped. It was awesome.
And the shootout just made it all.
It was
more
incredible.
Exciting. It was an amazing game, Steve.
I mean, watching a lot of guys that look like they're 40 having a reunion to push a rock down the ice looks pretty cool, honestly.
Yes, Steve.
I'm glad USA won gold in curling, but no moment will beat what Jocelyn Lamoureux did on that ankle breaker there. She fakes, then has a deep, pulls back, and scored. That was the easy part with scoring. Just the ankle breaker on Canada's goalie was so impressive. They hadn't won it since 1998. I know the team has strived for it for a while. And there's more than just Jocelyn's goal. Before that, Amanda Kessel, the Kessels, who might be the best sibling.
They just keep winning, man.
They might be the
That's
best
all they do.
athletic siblings in America. And Amanda Kessel scores that goal to extend the shootout. It was just a great game overall. It had you on your toes the entire time. And it was on the 38th anniversary of the Miracle on Ice. It was just everything fitting in one with the goal there.
USA won the gold in the hockey game for the women's hockey, and Steve and Turner are winning the points here for this
How
question.
you gonna give points to Tuesday?
It's the show. It's College Crossfire.
Oh, okay.
Anyone can get points at any time, so you guys are getting points. All right, guys, great
USA.
debate. That's it for now. We've got rapid fire up next, and you don't want to miss it. Welcome back to College Crossfire. It's heating up in here for some rapid fire. For those of you watching at home, each question in rapid fire is worth 2 points, so anyone can still take home the victory. Let's take a look at the scoreboard. We got Turner Barnes, he's got 2. Steve Helwick with 3. And Justin Honore with 2. All right, guys. But still anyone's game, so anyone can still take home the victory. All right, guys, let's get started. The NFL Combine started yesterday, but the on-field events at the Combine start on Friday with events like the 40-yard dash and the shuttle. And NFL teams really analyze these numbers that the players record at these events to determine who they'll select in the draft. So I want you guys to create an NFL event for me that will set the studs apart from the pack. So just rapid fire so anyone can jump in.
We're gonna go with 7-on-7.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Okay.
we get the whole notion, oh, he's a gamer. He doesn't test well. Well, we're going to throw away that notion. We're going to pair you up with random receivers and random running backs. We're going to have different corners, different safeties, different linebackers. We're going to see how you perform.
Okay.
Set the competitive. We're going to see who's the most competitive, who really wants it. And we're going to just throw out the whole notion of, oh, my numbers don't stack up. Like, let's see you perform when you don't know any of your teammates and see how really talented you are.
Okay. I'm a fan of the 7-on-7. You guys?
You know, back when I played in the olden days, high school football, the only way to set apart the real men from the fakes is old school Oklahoma drill. I don't care if the name is Oklahoma. You gotta put the pads on, put some hitting on, get some pads popping, and that's the only way to tell
Oklahoma
apart
drill.
the winners from the losers.
Not trying to get hurt though at the combine, man. They're trying to make money.
We're trying to get paid, man.
If you're a football player, you can go through an Oklahoma drill without getting hurt.
It's a great point.
Steve?
If you're
They have all
tough.
these drills. They have things like the high jump, but don't have one that shows how athletic you are when you're in the air. So I want to see something like a high dive, maybe.
Oh, yes.
Could you picture all the linemen doing high dives out there? But then a part of the combine is also a personality test. So right after the high dive, they have to put the players in a Browns uniform and see how long it takes them to cry. So 2 parts. That would be a 2-part combine event.
I have to go with Steve. He brought the creativity, the Browns jersey. See how long it takes him to cry. That's great. That's great. So Steve's getting the points. All right, guys, moving on. Funny moment in the golf world over the weekend. Luke Henry, I'm sure you saw this. In the Honda Classic this weekend, at hole 16, Justin Thomas hit the ball, and while it was in the air, a fan yelled, "Get in the bunker." Thomas was not happy after being heckled. Found the heckler and said, "Enjoy your day, buddy. You're done." He was kicked out, escorted from the course. So the question is this: what would you guys scream at a hole to distract a golfer?
Mashed potatoes.
We've heard mashed potatoes be screamed before. Just anything to just fluster a golfer.
Round Rock is better.
Okay. Okay, it doesn't. This isn't golf, but like, can I say this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, this is like my all-time. I just thought of this, like my favorite trash talk thing. I'm gonna pull it off on the fields at Whitaker. So I'm gonna put a receipt in my pocket.
Okay.
And then any one of those players that has gloves on, if they drop a ball, I'm gonna run up to them like, "Hey, bro, go ahead and take those back. They ain't working for you."
Okay, so
pretty
you can
good.
just do a receipt for like golf clubs or something, or
Yeah, go ahead, take that club back. They ain't working for you, man.
Okay, I like that.
Rick.
You have to just be, I'll be on the educational side. You gotta teach them some facts there. I'll shout, Robinson, North Dakota is a geographical center of North America.
All right, educating the golfers. Turner?
I have no idea. This is hard.
When you're playing football, what did you not like to hear?
I let my play do the talking. I didn't do much trash talking. I mean, wow. I'm embarrassed, but I got that's. You can yell choke.
Choke?
That's not creative, but.
Okay. It could make them choke, but I'm going with Justin here. He's bringing the.
I mean, that's a hard
pop
one.
into it.
That's a good one.
Justin's getting the point. All right, guys. Final rapid fire of the night. Very much an internal debate here at College Crossfire. In our TSTV group sports message earlier this week, we were having a debate on the best kids sports movie. No one agreed on anything, so the question is this: what's the best kids sports movie?
It's Air Bud. Air Bud without a question. Can you imagine being a coach and having to coach your kids through the adversity of a dog beating your kids? I mean, seriously. The dog, the golden retriever, it's probably an adult golden retriever too, so that probably goes a little outside the rule book there. But he's making shots, he's dunking on these kids. Like, just imagine coming home from basketball practice and just telling your mom, oh, I got cut from the team because a golden retriever beat me out there. There's so many interesting storylines and subplots that go along with the Air Bud movie and all the sequels that go after it. And Air Bud is the most talented multi-sport athlete of our generation. So that is the best sports movie.
How many Air Bud movies were there? There's like at least.
I think one for every sport.
One for every sport. And I think they had sequels for every sport too. Justin, Turner?
Like you heard from the crowd, kicking and screaming.
Kicking and screaming.
You got so many good qualities in that. You got Will Ferrell, so many quotable movies.
Mike Ditka?
Mike Ditka. I took a punch from Mike Ditka. I wobbled a little bit, but I did not go down. Kicking and screaming, hands down.
Hands down. Justin?
I gotta go with Little Giants. Like,
Okay.
it's kind of weird
Solid
that I'm a
choice.
Cowboys fan and they played the Cowboys in the championship. But I mean, you got everything: kids catching toilet paper to catch a ball, kids lifting refrigerators. You know, girls dominating. That's pretty awesome, to be honest.
Okay. Personally, my favorite's The Sandlot. I've watched that movie at least 100 times. But I'm going with Steve Helwick. Steve Helwick's getting the win. Air Bud. There's so many of those Air Bud movies. They're all great, so Steve Helwick's getting the win. Unfortunately, we do not have time for FaceTime, so thank you again for tuning in to College Crossfire. Steve Helwick is the champion. Don't miss College Press Box next Monday at 9 for a recap of all sports news on the 40 Acres. Special thanks to everyone in studio, Master Control, and to you for spending your Wednesday night with us. Until next time, I'm Mark Skol Jr. Good night.
Woo, Steve!